Hi fashion lovers, you're welcome to another tutorial. In today's edition we are going to learn how to sew and draft out this pinable dress form. In the previous tutorial we already made the cutting, the drafting, pattern drafting, and now this is the sewing tutorial. So let's get into the video. Alright, so mates, so in our previous video we already drafted the patterns and we've used the patterns now to cut out the fabrics, and I added half-inch seam allowances on all the sides. I'll be putting the link to the drafting video in the description box, so if you've not watched, just kindly go there and watch. We'll proceed to the sewing machine to join this up together. Okay, for the front part I went ahead to iron my softest warden, the softest of all wardens. That is what I ironed on the front part because I wanted the bust to be a bit lifted. So that is the front piece. Now I've joined them up, the pieces together, and this is what I have. So you can go ahead and join this. And when I joined mine, I had little excesses, like the thing was more around the shoulder area, so feel free to cut off your excess. It's better to have an excess while sewing than to say it wasn't enough. So I'll go ahead and get my scissors now. You see this excess around the shoulder. I'll go ahead and place the necklines together and I will cut it out. Do you understand? So after cutting this out now, I'll bring the back piece also because I've already joined the back piece together. So this is what the front is giving. You see that bust area that I ironed. Now this is the back. So for the back, I went ahead to join it from the downside, leaving some inches above. But if you want, you can use a zipper for yours. But mine, I didn't use a zip. But if you use a zipper, you have to add your zipper allowance, at least ½ inch or 1 inch. So I'll now bring the back and the front together, and I'll join them together like this at the shoulder. And after joining, I'll measure round the neck because we're going to be putting a collar on it. I'll measure the round neckline. So I've gone ahead to measure my round neckline, and I had 15 inches. That's 7.5. So to cut this out, I'll be marking 7.5 plus ½ an inch seam allowance. That's 8 inches. So this is for the round neckline that I'm marking now, 8 inches. And after I finish marking, I'll go ahead and mark it into a straight line. Then from this end like this, I'll come up by 2 inches and I'll connect it to the other side. Now, take note that the straight line area that I marked is the center front, while this part now that I'm covering is going to be the neck area. That's the place that will be stitched to the neck. So from this line now, I'll go ahead and measure the length of my collar. So for this, I used the length of 5 inches, but later on, I reduced it to 4 inches. 5 inches was much, I later noticed. So this is the length of the collar now, 5 inches. So this straight line now is the center front, while this curve part is the part that will be going into the neck. Then this upper part now that I'm marking is the upper neck area. Do you understand? So this down part now will be joining the clothes at the round neck side. So that is what I have now. So I'll go ahead and make sure that the measurements are accurate, and after then I'll get my scissors and I'll cut this out. Sorry guys, pardon me, I'm having a little bit of cough and catarrh. That's why you can notice a change in my voice. Please pardon me. Alright, so I'm going further to cut this out now. I'll go ahead and cut, and after cutting, I'll get my fabric and I'll place it on fold and I'll cut this. So remember, we're going to be cutting this on fold. That's on fold, the way it is now, on fold. Now this center, you see that what I told you, that part that I marked straight line is the center front. So the center front should be on fold. So I'm going ahead to cut this. I am not adding any seam allowance. I'll go ahead to cut it directly the way it is on the paper because I've already added my seam allowances on the paper. So when I cut it off, I will show you what I got. So this is what I got. I'll go ahead and notch that part that will be going through the neck, that will be stitched on the neck. So this is the center front now that I marked. Then I'll now bring the fabric, the main cloth itself, and I'll notch the center front. That's the front area. So I'll now go ahead and show you guys how I'll be joining this. I'll join it from one end of the back to the other end of the back. I'll make sure that the two centers that I notched, they are equal. So do you get? So this is just accurate. So I've gone ahead to stitch it, and I size it on me to make sure that yes, this is giving me what I wanted. So after now, I'll go further to get our pieces of fabrics that I've cut several times ago, and we'll begin to infuse it on this piece. So this is how I achieve mine. I'll go ahead to stuff, put this in, push it in, make sure to stuff it more at the bust area and at the hip area. And while you're doing this, you're with your tape, making sure that you take your measurements to know your actual size, whether it is bigger or not. So you have to be with your tape so that while you're putting the fabrics in, you'll be measuring out to make sure that it is still giving the measurement that you are wanting. Do you get? If it is bigger, you can find a way to press it in and make it to be actually your size. And if it is smaller, you can still do well to pack more pieces around the area. So you make sure that the bust area is well stuffed. You do get? So for the waist area, so if you watch closely, you'll see that the waist part is very flat. I used a carton around that part. Now I'll get my tape and I'll measure my vertical measurement, the bust point and the under bust, and it was really giving me what I wanted. So I'll now go ahead and still measure the waist area. And I will go ahead and measure the circumference of the bust to ensure that what I wanted is what I'm having. So I'm going further to do this, and it was giving me 38 inches, and that's my original bust measurement. Now at the under bust area, I had 33. But I'm supposed to have 32 because 32 is my size. So I'll now, you see how I pressed it in so that I can be able to get that 32. So I did the same thing on the waist. So you move further to stuff and stuff. The thing is just the stuffing. So you have to make sure that you have enough pieces because this was a whole lot. So even if you don't have enough pieces of fabric like this, you can use, if you have any pillow that you're not making use of in the house, you can still make use of it, or you go and buy a fiber. Yes, there's this thing they call fiber. We use it in fleshing bust caged art. You get a fiber. You can also use that one. So me, I made use of my pieces. Like I had a whole lot of them. So these are the cartons I was talking about. I cut out pieces of cartons like this. And this big one is the one I attached to the waist area that made it that flat. So this big one now will be entering the downside, while the one with the oval shape is for the armhole and the round one is for the neck. So these are the stoppers that we'll be using to stop it at those various different areas. So I'll go ahead and put this one now, one of the armhole side. This is it. So I used another type of fabric to cover up the ones that will be outside. So for this, I cut 2 for each. Yes, for the armhole, I cut 2 for it. I had 4. Then for the neck also I had 2, and for the one at the down area I had 2. So this is the stopper for the armhole. So I've gone ahead to place the first one. This is the second one now, the one I used the fabric to cover. Now this is for the neck. Yeah, this is for the neck side. But before you cover, you put your stoppers, you have to make sure that you have stuffed everything to your desired size or your desired measurement. Do you understand? Before you can be able to put the stoppers there. So I'm going further to put more pieces at the neck side, because at the neck area, because it wasn't that full the way I wanted it. So I kept on stuffing and stuffing. And to place these stoppers, you have to make use of gum adhesive. Yeah, I used this shoemaker gum, apoki gum, as we normally know here in Nigeria. That's the gum that I used, and it was fine. So I also gave it a little bit of firmness with this original super glue. Yes, I used an original super glue, the strongest one of it. So this is the gum now. I'm bringing the gum to place on the stopper that I'm putting around the neck. So I first of all put the gum like this, and then place it inside and use the fabric to cover it, and then lay in another gum so that I can put the final one that I used a fabric to cover. So this is what I will keep doing until I finish up the neck area. Now to cut off these stoppers, for the neck side you have to measure the round neck, the round collar, that's the collar now. So you know the exact length of it, the length it is giving. That is what you use to cut its stopper, the way it is round on the collar. So if you did the same thing for the armhole, see that the armhole one is somehow over in shape. Now it is still the exact measurement that I had for the armhole that I used to draft the carton for the armhole side, and then the stopper at the down area is still the measurement that is at the down side. So that's how you achieve this. So that is that for that. So I'll now go ahead and keep gumming and gumming each of the areas. And I'll gum the armhole, put the inner one, and I'll now use the outer one that I use the fabric to cover, and I'll still proceed. Now for this fabric one, I still use the gum to add the fabric, and I use the gum to add it to the gum it to the carton. So if you watch closely now, you see that after putting the first gum, I'll put the second one before placing the last stopper around there. So this is how I achieved the armhole side, and also the down area, the one for the down length. So guys, if you have watched this video to this far, thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time of hearing my voice, kindly subscribe to this channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome. I do appreciate. So now move further to the down area. I'll move further to the down area, and this is what I'll keep doing. So this is what I'll continue doing, covering them up like that until I get my desired, I get what I want. So if you feel that your hip is not stuffed enough, you can still go ahead to put in more fabrics. And while you're doing this, you make sure to use your tape to be measuring it up so that you will not be having more on the hip area, and so that it will not still be less also. Now for the stand, I wanted to use a fan stand that I wasn't making use of. That's a sports fan that I have in my house. But later on, I had this suit stand. There's this thing called stand for suit, like suit that they used to wear. So I wasn't making use of it. So that is what I now used on top of my own. So you can just use, if it's a fan stand that you have, or you can go to a carpenter to construct a stand for you. So after I finish placing it on my stand, I will still go ahead and take my measurements. Measurement is very, very important, so that you will not have it less or you will not have it more. So that is why it is called exact body. That's why you call it your exact measurement. Do you get a pinable mannequin with your size? So guys, this is me testing what I have made to make sure that it is really pinning, and I love the outcome I was having. It was awesome. So if you're going to be trying this is very important, because there are so many styles that you cannot pin on your normal mannequin like this. But with this now, you can just achieve any style, any drape of your choice, any style of your choice, especially drapings. Yeah, this pinable mannequin is best for draping, like dresses that are being draped, outfits that are being draped on a form. Do you get? So if your client is not readily available to drape on her, you can use this to always drape on for your clients, and you get, even for yourself, and you get exactly what you are looking for. So this is something to save cost. Yes, I know it is not really that perfect like the shop bought on or the original one, but at least this is going to be helping someone. Like it is helping me also. So guys, if you have watched to this far, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share for more. And also turn on your notifications so that whenever I post new videos, you are going to be notified that yes, something new is on the table. So till I come your way next time, stay safe and stay strong. I remain your humble tutor, Chidima, or you call me Style by Dima. Bye. See you in my next video.